Hey guys, what's going on? Jamie here. Just wanted to show you a little bit more about the Bitcoin Wealth Project. This is a Bitcoin cycler. Actually pays out at BTCB, which is Bitcoin on Binance Smart Chain. Why not use regular Bitcoin? Because regular Bitcoin, you're not able to connect to a smart contract, right? So they're using BTCB, which is pegged to Bitcoin. So it's the same thing, right? Tomato, tomato. It's the same thing, right? So Bitcoin wealth, let's talk a little bit about it. One of the things that struck me when I first took a look at this was the fact that it was a one-time entry. If you know about these cyclers, it's usually a one-time entry to get in. And then as you cycle through the different boards or slots or matrices, whatever terminology you want to use, you're using profits that you've earned to go into the next level matrix, right? Here they call it slots. So it's a one-time out of pocket of about $67, give or take, depending on the price of Bitcoin, of course, 0.001 Bitcoin. But you can earn just on cycling through the matrix a little over 30 plus Bitcoin. And then if you look at recycling through and consistently recycling through the slots that you've already graduated from, it's upwards of 60 plus Bitcoin, which I'm going to show you here. Now, again, am I saying that that's going to happen for you? Is it a guarantee? Is everybody going to do that? No, of course not. Because again, people can come in here and do nothing, right? And expect to make $1 million. It's not how it works. You got to participate in your own rescue, as I like to call it. You need to take some action. You need to go out there and do some work, but it's simple work, right? It's nothing that's overcomplicated. It's very simple. And if you can keep it simple and just duplicate the process over and over and over and drive down deep, right, into your team, then you can move through the different boards or the different slots rather, right? Again, what if you just what if you just make $500 out of this? What if you just make 1,000? I mean, if you do a one-time entry of $67 and you make $1,000, is that still a win? Like, isn't that still, a win for you, right? So again, don't look at it like, wow, 61 Bitcoin. Am I going to make, don't worry about that. Like, just look at it like, okay, what if you pick the number that you want? What if you can make 1,000? What if you can make 2,000? What if you can make $3,000? You only did one entry of $67. I mean, that would be a profit, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and show you this. Of course, not a financial advisor, guys. Never take anything I say as financial advice. If you decide to get into anything in the crypto space, just know there is risk involved. So please do your own research and due diligence and only put in what you can afford to lose, guys. Okay, risk capital only. Also follow me on Telegram. I'll leave a link for that down below. If you're not subscribed yet to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the little bell icon so you'll get notified straight away whenever I do a brand new video. So that being said, guys, Bitcoin Wealth, very powerful project. It's community driven. It's a straight DeFi project, 100% decentralized. The contract sits on the blockchain. Nobody can tamper with it. Nobody can change it. It's hard coded to the blockchain. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of platform, a lot of projects that are sitting on the blockchain. Now, some of them are successful, some of them are not. You know, we don't know what this is going to be long term, but can it run for a long time? It's happened before, right? There's been projects like Olympus DAO or Origins, 5 years, 3 years, those platforms are still paying out currently, right? Am I saying that that's going to happen here? We don't know, right? But the way I look at it, as I said in my initial video, is let's say it doesn't, right? Well, what's the risk that we're taking? $67, depending on the price of Bitcoin. For me, I weigh out the risk and reward. And I was like, you know what? Let me see, what can happen here. If I lose my $67, then I lose my $67, right? So again, that goes back to what I said earlier. Put in what you can afford to lose, and you don't have to worry about it, right? So anyway, this is a community-driven project, and there's three ways to get Bitcoin. Number one is to mine it, and right now, mining really isn't profitable. Right? If this was 2013 or 14 or something like that, or 2015, maybe it would be extremely profitable. Right now, it's just not profitable. And even if you were to mine Bitcoin, the electricity cost, the equipment, very, very expensive, right? You'd also buy Bitcoin. Okay, that's pretty risky because if you buy Bitcoin and let's say it drops in price the day after you buy it, well, those price fluctuations, if you sell it, you're going to lose money, right? Of course, we can sit here and say, well, in an ideal world, don't sell it and just wait for it to go back up. Who knows if you'll be able to do that, right? Maybe you need the funds. I don't know. The third way is probably the best way to do it, which is earn it. says here it's the smartest way to get it. Bitcoin Wealth makes it simple, fast, and cost effective. Okay. So this is called the king of smart contracts, right? Groundbreaking evolution of the smart contract space. It's a powerful, continuous Bitcoin earning matrix system, and it's designed for automation and long-term opportunity. So it's a unique system that works for you, ready-made, people-powered, right? I said it was community-driven, right? This right now, this is blowing up in the Asian market, uh, uh, India, right? A couple of places in Africa, a couple of markets in Africa also, just crushing it out with this. So again, it's building out, but in the West, there's really nobody that's doing it or knows about it. So still ground floor, right? The contract itself has only been around for about 2.5 months, between 2.5 months, coming on 3 months maybe. So still fairly young. And it says here it's a system designed for the people. As I said, it's totally community driven. Okay. So here are just some bullet points, right? Fully decentralized system, fully automated execution, transparent smart contract, auto spillover mechanism, unlimited recycles and re-entries. So you'll see what I mean by that here in a second. Instant transactions, no withdrawal charges, no admin control, no owner control, no company dependency. It's immutable on the blockchain. It's hard coded to the blockchain. Unlimited earning potential, self-sustained reward cycle, no human interference, code-based anti-manipulation mechanism, and it's real-time dashboard updates. So again, very powerful system they have here, sits on the blockchain. So the system that never stops paying Bitcoin, here's what I was mentioning before. It's a one-time entry of 0.001 Bitcoin, depending on what the price of Bitcoin is today. It's about $67, give or take. That's the only thing that comes out of your pocket, only time. One time out of pocket, okay? That gets you entry into the first slot or the first matrix. And then again, as you cycle through into the next level, you're getting your entry from profits, okay? You're getting a re-entry into the matrix you just graduated from with profits, okay? So everything's after that first entry, after that first out-of-pocket entry, everything else is out of pocket, or excuse me, everything is not out of pocket. It's paid for by profits. Okay. So it says here, Val Unity, Matrix Engine. It says here, we introduced our breakthrough system, Val Unity. That's our Matrix Engine. It says Val Unity unites us as one, creating shared rewards, collective power, and future that lasts. This is a team build. Okay. It's really teamwork. Okay. So it says your cycle 1 bonus distribution. This is what it looks like. Okay. It's essentially each slot, you're filling out a 2x3 matrix. You start the process off by getting 2 people, one on your right, one on your left. Now, of course, that can get filled out through spillover, but let's just say, let's not even talk about spillover right now. You get 2 people and you teach those people how to get 2 people, right? And then you teach those people how to get 2 people, and you just wash, rinse, repeat, and keep it as simple as possible. That's the hardest part, guys, is keeping it as simple as possible. You just get 2 who get 2 who get 2, and you can move from matrix to matrix. So this just breaks down each slot, what happens to the payment. For example, someone comes in here, upline 1 gets paid. When this position gets filled, upline 2 gets paid. When this position gets filled, that goes to you. When positions 4 and 5 get paid, that goes into your entry into the next matrix, next slot, right? You graduate to the next one, and so forth and so on. Okay. The last one here, when someone fills in this position, that payment goes into you getting another spot and recycling, going back and recycling again. So 2 things are happening at one time. Number 1 is you're graduating to the next level. Sorry about that. You're graduating to the next level matrix, but also you're getting an entry into the one you just finished, and you can recycle again. Okay. So every subsequent cycle afterwards, because again, positions 4 and 5 are not going into a reentry because you already re-entered. So anytime you're recycling and going through the same matrix, now it changes on level on every cycle after the first one. When position 4 gets filled, that goes to the royal pool. So that's a pool that gets built up, right? And then it's another pool that gets paid out to members once they hit a certain rank. But then here, because you're already entered into the next one, usually that's what happens. Now this just goes to you. You see that? So every subsequent cycle, this is what it looks like. And you just repeat, right? So again, this is what it looks like. This is the entry into each level. Again, the only out of pocket here is the one that starts it off, which is this one, 0.001 Bitcoin. All of this, all of these entries into the next slots from slot 2 through 12 is from profit. Okay. So let's look at it. You come in at entry level or entry 0.001 Bitcoin. This is slot 1. You complete that slot. You're keeping 0.007 Bitcoin. So this column is what you're keeping in your wallet. 0.007 Bitcoin, right? You go to the next slot. As you complete this cycle, what you're keeping in your wallet is 0.014 Bitcoin. Okay. Of course, what's taken away from this is the entry into the next slot. Okay. So as you enter slot 3, once you complete that slot, you're keeping 0.028 Bitcoin. When you complete slot 4, 0.056, and now it gets really interesting. Once you get to slot 4, slot 5, slot 6, and beyond, look at this. Now the profit here is 0.056 Bitcoin. Look at the profit here is 0.112 Bitcoin, which is like $6,000 when you complete slot 5. When you complete slot 6, it's a quarter of a Bitcoin almost, which in today's value is about 15,000. Now, what if Bitcoin goes up? I mean, who knows, right? It's about 15,000, quarter of a Bitcoin. Here, slot 7, once you complete that, half a Bitcoin almost, right? That's about 30K and change in today's value. Look at this. After slot 8, it's 0.896 Bitcoin. Slot 9 is 1.792 Bitcoin. Slot 10, 3.5 Bitcoin this is the profit that goes to your wallet. Slot 11 is 7 Bitcoin, and slot 12 is 10 Bitcoin, which in today's value would be about $650,000. That's what 10 Bitcoin is. So crazy the amount of Bitcoins that you can accumulate over time, not overnight, but over time as you build this out. Now, is it guaranteed that you're going to cycle through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, going to get all this Bitcoin? No, nothing's, I told you before, nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed in business. Okay. I don't care if you have a networking business, a traditional business, online business, offline business, nothing's guaranteed. It's all going to be based on your effort, the time and energy that you put in, right? Whether or not you can, complete the task, right? And follow directions and teach other people and work with other people. Those are all different variables. So I'm not guaranteeing that that's going to happen, but it's hard coded. It's a smart contract, right? No emotion. This is what it pays out, right? This is what it pays out if you complete it and go through the different levels, right? Now, remember I said you can recycle as well. So as you recycle through those matrices that you've already completed, and you're just continuously passing them again and again and again. You're recycling as you're moving through the different levels. You're also recycling into the matrices. Look, there's more Bitcoins you can earn from that. Okay, but this is just overkill, right? Let's not even worry about that. So again, you could earn quite a few Bitcoins, okay, from this. And again, it's hard coded. It's a smart contract, guys. So nobody can change their mind, right? The owner of the platform is not going to say, you know what, I changed my mind and we're not going to do that. It's a smart contract. It pays out what it pays out. Okay, if something happens and you're owed money, boom, it hits your wallet. You don't have to request it. Instantly transfers to your wallet, and you don't got to worry about it. Nobody has to process it on the other end. Nobody has to approve it. It's all smart contract driven, guys. Okay. So very, very powerful stuff. As we wrap up, here are just different ranks. Here's what I wanted to show you. Okay, some key advantages. There are no limits on rewards based on ranks. There's no expiration or freeze policy for slots. So if you get a slot and you get distracted, you come back in 3 months, your slot is there. You can build it. You can start building it then, Number 3, automatic and instant withdrawals. As I mentioned before, nobody has to process it. You don't have to request it. Number 4, limitless earnings through unlimited slot recycling. So as long as you're completing the cycles and you're recycling, you can unlimited times you can run through the same cycle. And then last but not least, automatic slot upgrades and feature the quickest spillover mechanism. So you don't have to, the contract will upgrade you when it's time to upgrade you. Okay. So all you got to do is focus on, money making activities, right? Activities that move the needle, activities that move the bottom line. You don't have to worry about this or that. The contract does all of that for you. So this is a great project, guys. If you want to check it out, I will leave a link down below. And we'll be talking a lot about this moving forward, so stay tuned. Again, this is called Bitcoin Wealth. As always, guys, risk capital only. Follow me on Telegram, subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell icon so you'll get notified straight away whenever I do a brand new video. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.